Did the Supreme Court ruling just make it harder for Black and Brown students to get into top colleges? In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 3 strategies you can actually start today where you can set your child up for competitive admissions and scholarships. If you're new here, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and that you hit that notification bell so you are always notified when we share videos every single week, sharing strategies for high-achieving students to get into top colleges without stress, without confusion, and without overpaying for tuition. I am Matt Glenny. I am the Vice President of Business Strategy and Marketing Operations. We've helped students and their families secure $3.6 million in scholarships, and we've seen firsthand how the admission system works. We've had students get into Duke, Carnegie Mellon, and Notre Dame. Stay tuned to the end of the video so you can book a free strategy session where one of our team members will actually work with you and your child to build a roadmap for that competitive edge. So let's get started on the Supreme Court ruling. Colleges can no longer look at a box that says Black or Latino. Colleges can no longer say, we want 50 Black students, we want 50 Asian students. What the court ruling actually did not do was limit or really restrict students from expressing or sharing their race. They're able to show that through their essays, through their resume, through what it is that they've done and how it's actually impacted them. Step number 1 is focusing on leadership, not just academics. When college admissions can no longer look at the race box, they're looking for other ways to assess diversity. And they've done this before, but for some colleges, it's been very heavy on we need X amount of Black students, X amount of Latino students. So now what they're looking for is a variety of interests. They're looking for initiatives. They're looking for diversity in each of these students, right? That's why you see students who are artists and engineers and entrepreneurs and musicians, admission officers are creating a diverse community on campus. So when your child is actually able to share their unique value, they show those admission officers that they're invaluable. And those admission officers are like, we want a student like that on campus. Here's an example of what that may look like in practicality, inspired by some of our students. A student named Adeline, she's very interested in urban farming as well as community initiative and educating on food scarcity. Instead of joining a bunch of clubs, she actually started her school's very first food garden. And from that, she started her own business where she actually sells the food that she grows in this garden at farmers markets. On top of that, she's also educating the community on food scarcity and what they can do with urban farming. And all of this really exemplifies leadership, her initiative, the impact that she's had on the community. Aside from her just liking food or gardening, her impact, her initiative, and her leadership gained her a full ride. Step number 2 is to tell a compelling story. I really want to continue to pull on the example of Adeline. Admission officers really want to hear not just what it is that they're doing, but how it's allowed them to become who they are. Admission officers really want students to be able to connect the dots between what they're doing, what they've done, and what they want to do in the world. They really want to see purpose. How are these students coming into these campuses? How is what they're learning here even going to drive them further into what it is that they're doing, right? Adeline was inspired by her own experiences and her own food scarcity. So to rise above it, her being in a food desert and being in the concrete jungle that is New York, she actually ended up deciding, okay, how can I actually have access to a garden where I might not have access to food? And I'm limited on food. I'm limited not just financially, but I'm limited as well in access. Her own struggle of food scarcity empowered her to educate others on food scarcity, but also how to rise above it. And that story of how she overcame those challenges and actually ended up bringing it forth to her high school, but also to the community through the farmers markets and also in sharing the community initiative initiatives of actually educating on food diversity, that's a compelling story that admission officers are like, wow, not only did this girl go through all of these things, but she rose above it so much so that she's helping others as well. There's legacy that will leave a non-negotiable yes. She's able to articulate herself in her essays and through recommendation letters, through interviews, and all of it is connecting, and you can really feel the heart. Admission officers are going to be like, absolutely, she understands what she wants, how this program is going to even help her continue this, or how it's going to help her continue in what it is that she's moving forward in. And it's going to be very hard for them to say no to her. Step number 3, position for scholarships, not just admissions. Here's the truth. Colleges actually have race discrimination. So for families who are unaware, will actually end up paying, or overpaying rather, over $600 to $100K for tuition. So what we've actually helped families do is get ahead of the game by positioning for merit scholarships so that they don't actually end up overpaying. We've helped families protect their investments and really allow their child to be positioned to save money. Quick question. What is your biggest fear as it relates to your child's college admissions process? Leave a comment. I'd really love to hear about this and even address it in a later video. If what I'm sharing really resonates with you, make sure that you go ahead and book a free strategy session with our team, and we can get your child's roadmap started. Step number 4, starting early, the 9th grade advantage. So the families who are actually really winning at this new admissions landscape are the ones who are getting ahead and starting in 9th grade. They are developing strategies, picking what projects to build, and helping their students develop as leaders early on, because leadership doesn't just start in 11th grade. It starts a lot sooner. They're actually being developed and have more time for those projects to be built, for those initiatives to be built. Step number 5, protecting their mental health. So the students who are actually just focused on what it is that they're passionate about and they can really connect with, they're not scatterbrained trying to do everything all at once, all at the same time. In them being focused and knowing what projects to build, knowing what they need to do, they actually end up avoiding burnout. Instead of being in a pressure cooker of doing all the things, the students who are focused on what it is that they need to do between academics, extracurriculars, projects, really showing that initiative and that passion that they're actually connected to that purpose, that's actually going to stand out so much more than the ones who have a bunch of things on their resume. If you're ready to take this any further, make sure that you book a free strategy session with our team so we can get your child's personalized roadmap to be competitive for college admissions and scholarships. And if you found this video really helpful, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, that you like it, that you share. And again, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you subscribe and you hit that notification bell so you are notified every single time we upload a new video.